like you said, the process of recall must be a process that the registered voters are aware and conscious that they are going to recall their member. It must not be in any form of deceit.
So this is no longer in the realm of speculation, because we had heard initially that indeed some recall process had started, but it was being done under the guise of a, what was that now? What's
Empowerment.
Empowerment. But it was controversial. It would seem that, there was some alert being raised on this, but clearly it does appear that this is what we're now seeing. This is now the result of what has transpired. Do you want to shed a little more light on how we got here?
Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks so much for having me, Omakwe. Now, firstly, it has been in the news, like you said, about the recall. If you heard the young lady that spoke, she said she's from Consigned Kogi Youth and Women. I don't know what that is. I am the lawyer. I'm one of the lawyers to Natasha, and we've been interrogating the process. We know what the recall process is under the Constitution, Section 69, and the INEC guidelines. She said she's representing Kogi Youths and Women. I don't know what that is. The persons who have the legal right to recall is our constituency, in this case, Kogi Central. She has not been able to tell us if she belongs to the 5 local governments that constitute Kogi Central. Now, she has not told us who are those people who voted, are they the registered voters? In the process of recall under the INEC rules and regulation, the names of the person who should sign for the petition should be polling units by polling unit. Question is, when were those persons, where were those signatures collected out of the over 800 polling units, within the over 1,200 polling units within the 5 local governments that made up Kogi Central? And we've seen social media reports, which we are looking at to see where we noticed and we saw some group of persons inside one room trying to write names, and I think that is what they have just done and brought up to say that they have gotten 250,000 names. We have personally written to the chairman of INEC complaining of allegation of forgery against the said petition. Now, INEC has the constitutional right under Section 69 to verify the signatures in that petition. However, as person who is concerned about the rumor and the stories connecting the signature that they have received, as a citizen, as somebody who is concerned about the process shouldn't be fraudulent. When you see people sitting somewhere, writing names, putting signatures, that is a clear case of forgery. So it is duty for me to notify INEC, and so we'll take it further. We are going to, by tomorrow, we will send the petition to the Commissioner of Police, Kogi State, to verify, to investigate how those, because that is a different, because the issue of forgery is a crime, and it is the duty of the police to investigate crime. While INEC has their constitutional duty to verify those petitions as provided under Section 69. So if you look at it, it looks as if there is a script somewhere. And like I said in one of these programs, it's a melodrama. And I want to see how it plays out. But one thing we are sure of, that this process cannot be completed.
Let us, take a look at, because we did hear, these are some of the videos that made the round, some amateur videos that made the round on, social media, alleging that some empowerment process had started under the guise of, the recall process had started under the guise of empowerment. But it did appear that some of the the citizens were aware that this was what was going on, and then you could hear their voices in the background saying things like they were speaking their own traditional language. I didn't understand what was being said, but it did appear that there were concerns that this was what was happening under the guise. If indeed there is a recall process, aren't the citizens supposed to be clearly aware of what is transpiring? Are they supposed to be, because you have talked about forgery, but if indeed it happens that, people were being given empowerment and they were asked to sign in a particular place, and it is indeed their signatures, but they were not aware of what it was that they were signing for. Doesn't that make the process null and void?
That is a very good question, and that is one of the concerns we have. Now, the first part is that, like you said, the process of recall must be a process that the registered voters are aware and conscious that they are going to recall their member. It must not be in any form of deceit. They must be aware, they must be conscious, they must be noticed to that effect, and they must have volunteered themselves to go through the process. We've not heard of any town hall meetings that were held that the persons, the constituents, the unit said, oh, we have to recall these persons. All we just heard was that, oh, some people were in the queue. We were seeing videos of people standing in the queue. Thereafter, they were now saying that, oh, they told us we're coming there for an empowerment. And what we now got to, they told us when we pick up, we put our voter's name and all of that, and we signed. Like you said, let us assume that that was what happened, that they were brought into a particular place for the purpose of empowerment, and they now discovered that it was for recall. That itself is deceit. But you see, it is one of these things. They just brought that process for you to see that, oh, the recall process has started. We need to see it in every unit. Under the INEC guidelines, each of those names of the registered voters must be from polling unit to polling unit.
It cannot be done in
one...
So
it cannot just be done in one hall and people... No. The names must be arranged polling unit to polling unit because votes are done in polling units.